make it a nervous finish for them. But it's always been a rearguard action. It's always been fighting back rather than forcing the issue. Wirtz have been writing their own stories. Gundogan, Sané on his heels and acknowledging it was not the worst idea. It's a lovely ball, set it in motion from Tomiyasu. Kamada not under any great pressure. Sugawara delivering the cross and Junya Ito reacting faster than the rest. There will be a debating point, I'm sure, whether it goes down as a Rudiger own goal. It probably will. But Ito can revel in making the headlines for the moment, and he's searching for Ueda in the middle. Chan under pressure. You see with Kimmich's move into midfield, it enables Wirtz to push a little higher and wider. That's the theory behind it. It does seem that, to me at least, many a team is just using this tactic of the inverted fullback to be seen to be moving with the times rather than for any great actual purpose. Flicked on by Sané. It's good work by Havertz. Leading the line in the absence of Füllkrug. Now of Borussia Dortmund. And won't be available. There's some suggestion Jamal Musiala may be able to return for the France game. Rudiger. A bit of a road to nowhere, in truth. Chan. Morita. Ueda. Junya Ito. Endo. It's Kamada to Endo again. Junya Ito has the freedom of the city here. Looks round and didn't see a lot catching up with him quickly, so why not thunder it at goal? I think the reason no one was catching him up was because he was offside, and in the end it would have counted for nothing. Federation hierarchy, including the most recognisable face, Rudi Völler, will not have had their mood brightened by what occurred in the 11th minute here. Havertz, Gundogan, Sula's touch, Kimmich. Schlotterbeck. Was nearly into Gundogan. This is Florian Wirtz. Sané is available. Leroy Sané. Well, there's a change for the better. As far as Germany are concerned, a pretty swift and very slick response. And the critics can put their knives away for a moment. A very tidy move indeed, involving Gundogan and Wirtz, and tucked away with a minimum of fuss by Leroy Sané with his trusty left foot. Mitoma arriving just too late to affect things. And that's more like the football they want to see. Sané with a real intensity just in that moment in his closing down, and that's a word we have not used about the German performances of late. Mitoma. Lovely bit of skill through the legs of Kimmich. On a chance, possibly. Oh, and Morita just couldn't sort his feet out. Good energy there from Tomiyasu. A penetrative pass, Junior Ito. Now Wirtz. Oh, suddenly a full-blooded cup tie is broken out. Junior Ito, away from Schlotterbeck, turned on by Kamara Sugawara. Junior Ito, oh, in by Ueda. Well, Germany's worst nightmare is back to haunt them. And Ayase Ueda has steered home his second international goal and Japan's second goal of the night. Just when Germany thought they had restored order, they are quaking again, they're shaking again. It's nervous. It's anxious. And it's 2-1. Swiftly with a challenge, a foul by Endo. Rudiger. Mitoma into trouble. Rudiger. Kimmich. Well, 2-1 in the Khalifa International Stadium with late comeback. That will be the first card. Pressure here, halted in the end by Sula's shove on Ueda. Taking an interest here. Way too far out for an effort as far as he's concerned. This is Tomiyasu. Away win against a European side. You've got to remember they also beat Spain in the World Cup. Their last away win was 10 years ago against Belgium. Tomiyasu. Havertz. Kimmich. Chan. Japan wanting offside against Kai Havertz. Kimmich. Sula to Antonio Rudiger. Wirtz. Time Germany lose the ball, there's a sense of dread almost around the stadium. It's Endo spraying it now for Junior Ito. Can't get the better of Schlotterbeck, but Sugawara's on hand to keep the attack going. Kamada, Endo, Kamada. That's a good ball. Junior Ito, Ueda fighting in the middle. And Mitoma arriving, but Kimmich has time. And Mitoma perhaps acknowledging that he should have been more proactive in trying to get in at that far post. This is Sane. And Kimmich providing some width. Chan, Gundogan, Gnabry. Off. Mitoma able to bring it forward. Tied it up at the back by Joshua Kimmich, who did take a bit of a sore one in the warm-up. Some momentary concern. He seems to be moving okay. point of interest has been the release of a documentary about Germany's World Cup. Sane driving forward, and Wirtz arriving, but in close attendance was Koetakura. Maybe Wirtz will feel he should have done better nonetheless. Sane with some good work. Of a documentary on one of the streaming services, which has delved deep into Germany's agonising World Cup in Qatar. The anger of the head coach very much in evidence during and after the match, which saw their exit. Kamada, Junya Ito. Schlotterbeck tidies up, but Japan are looking threatening. Every time they move into that final third. They just seem to have a more serrated cutting edge at the moment. Mitoma. Well, his mate from Brighton, Pascal Gross, is among the Germany substitutes. He could make his debut this evening. Oliver Baumann, who has been in the squad before, called up by Jogi Löw some years ago, is the other potential debutant tonight. Will go around the outside. Well, it was just begging for a telling touch. But Japan grateful it didn't get one. Well, he tortured Hiroki Ito, and well, Gundogan did make contact. And there's the reason they were appealing. It bounced onto Sugawara's arm. Well, agonising for everybody, that moment. I'm afraid to hit a real raking pass. Japan have had about 35% of the possession. Moving slickly forward. Hiroki Ito to Mitoma. Oh, Sane's header was a terrible one away now. Asking for trouble there. Ito running free again, but as you can see now, he's a good few yards offside. Interesting to see how well Japan can manage this game. Sugawara, Ito's offside again. It's not a terribly difficult decision. Chan. Kimmich. Chan. Ganged up on him. Kamara's challenges have deemed a foul. Sula. Wirtz. Kimmich. Gundogan. Rudiger. Sane. Awkward hop, skip and a jump. Oh, great contrast between the experience levels of those two. Thomas Muller and Kevin Schade have 123 international caps between them. Thomas Muller with 121 of them. Back in the squad. In part because of Niklas Füllkrug's injury. Borussia Dortmund, who've made a less than impressive start to the season. Certainly some concerns around it, at least. Quite a tough Champions League draw for them, which includes Milan, Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle United. Kimmich's ball, intended for Sane. Hiroki Ito able to get there. It's forward by Mitoma. And a forlorn chase for Ayase Ueda. Sane with plenty to say. Ueda, who was inspired into the striking business by watching his father play. Remembers him scoring a hat-trick when he was growing up. But, during his formative years, idolised Jurgen Klinsmann. Germany could do with a goal scorer of his calibre at the moment. Although Füllkrug is certainly getting goals on a regular basis. Hiroki Ito's ball in. Klinsmann, one of those players for the ages. Gnabry. Always capable of producing something in a tight space, and Havertz secures a free kick. So a little bit of criticism of his start at Arsenal, yet to grab a goal. That's what he will be judged on. Doesn't appear too friendly with Tomiyasu in the middle there at the moment. A little bit of playful pushing. Sula. That's making a few headlines, complaining about the lack of support Germany have received of late, including at the World Cup. There was a distinct drop-off in the interest levels compared to the norm of the tournament in the Middle East. Oh, and Ueda has seized upon that, can make Germany suffer even further. Well, big escape. And Schlotterbeck sold Rudiger completely, and Ayase Ueda able to seize upon it. They had a lot of time to think about it, and that doesn't always help a striker, and ultimately it's a let-off for Germany. Ter Stegen reacting well. Kimmich. Gundogan, Wirtz, room to take aim. And once that room had disappeared, it was going to be more difficult. This is Chan. Kimmich. He's feeling a bit of pain at the moment, Florian Wirtz. Sane. Tomiyasu. It's very neatly done. Ueda. Kamada. Out to Mitoma. Sugawara wanted the switch. It's Morita now. And eventually, I'm sure it will find its way to Sugawara. Here he is. Junya Ito. Gnabry. Hiroki Ito. I'm sure may have plenty to say when he returns to Stuttgart. Tomiyasu, who's younger, was offered a place at Barcelona's academy. He couldn't relocate at that point. Sporting family, sisters both that sisters are professional swimmers. Sporting in Lisbon. Itakura. For Borussia Mönchengladbach, formerly of Schalke. He's very familiar with these parts. He's been to a major tournament where he made his debut. Osako, the goalkeeper, played when Japan played in the Copa America, as they have done here and there. And this was back in 2019. Itakura. Managing this well, Japan. And there may be some punch at the end of the prolonged spell of possession. Mitoma. Ueda, Mitoma. Now Wirtz. Sane.
Well, is Tomiyasu going to get there? Yes is the answer. He emphatically shut the door. It was a great bit of defending. But Germany with a flowing counter-attack of their own. Sane powering away, just showed enough of it to Tomiyasu to make a crucial challenge. But this is the moment where the game might have been put out of sight. Schlotterbeck and Rudiger getting themselves in all kinds of trouble. Don't think Ueda caught it as cleanly as he might have done, and Ter Stegen got his positioning right on the break. Tomiyasu trying to take care of Rudiger. And the flick from the head of Itakura. Well, it's a familiar scoreline. It's a familiar feeling, but at least there is a half for Germany to recover. But they better do for Hansi Flick's sake. Behind to Ito's goal, Sane equalising pretty swiftly, but almost immediately Ayase Ueda popping up to make it. Germany 1, Japan 2. It's referee Jorge João Pinheiro. So can Japan see this through? More productive with less possession. Oh, given away once again, this time by Ter Stegen, and Junya Ito wouldn't curl back quite far enough. And it's not the first time Germany have got themselves into unnecessary trouble. Has to be better in this second half. They've had some good moments, but to be honest, it seems to be more down to little nuggets of individual quality rather than any great cohesive team play. Gnabry. It's broken for Gnabry here. Great turn. And picked off by Morita, who was in a great position. This is Schlotterbeck, and a corner. There's something to attack. That's what they want Joshua Kimmich to produce here. Oh. There's Niklas Süle coming in at that near post. I have to say, that looked a very presentable chance to me. Yes, a good opportunity that. These loose moments from Germany, and Junya Ito is powering down this near side. Oh, and he's got there, and Ayase Ueda, heavy touch cost him. Morita, in, no, side netting. Well, Junya Ito so energetic. And he ghosted in behind there, caught Schlotterbeck out. The touch of Ueda just let him down. The shot by Morita just whistled the wrong side of the net from Japan's point of view. I thought for a moment he'd put the game to bed. But it's those moments of uncertainty that are far too frequent for Germany. Sugawara's corner wasn't great, but he'll get another chance. Given offside in the end. enough.
Well, it takes a certain bravery and confidence to play this way. There's no place to get the jitters back there. And Chatler's run into difficulty. Junior Ito got the opening goal via Antonio Rudiger. So full of energy. Just very, very wary of Leroy Sané and just dropping in there to make it pretty much a back five. This is Schlotterbeck. Good ball, Gnabry. He's got a flash of inspiration in him. Oh, and Osako came and was not conclusive, but they were very well aware that it had opened up invitingly there for Gnabry, and I think Itakura in the end made the most telling contribution in blocking his shot. Here's Itakura. And Schlotterbeck to pick it up. Gnabry. Sugawara. Itakura. Yes, Ueda has got a free kick. To Sula's incredulity. Sula, a player who Turkey approached to play for them at one stage on the grounds that his name sounded Turkish. He's actually got some Hungarian roots. Offside against Junior Ito. Caught a few times. It's pretty conclusively that Japan have moved to a back five at the start of this second period. It's loose. Kamara will hope to get there. Morita now effectively playing as a left wing back. Gundogan caught, and the referee will go back for that and issue a yellow card despite Itakura's protests. Rudiger. Schlotterbeck. Havertz might have strayed offside there. Doesn't matter. Endo. Japan just very happy to idle through, try and keep hold of possession and frustrate Germany. The level of control in the game was actually increasing towards half-time. Possession now up into the 40s in percentage terms. But what's notable, for all the ball Germany have had, they've had 8 attempts, only 2 on target. Japan have had 7 attempts and 5 on target.
Well, Ter Stegen has been very safe with his handling. Wouldn't have expected to be beaten there, but a sense of reassurance about his presence. Well, Neuer, of course, having that skiing accident after the World Cup. A couple of new faces set to come in for Japan, Shogo Taniguchi, and one face that won't be particularly welcome, Takuma Asano, scorer in the World Cup victory on a day when he came off the bench. Indeed, both goal scorers did that day. Gnabry. Chan. Sula. Or rather Kimmich. Here he is again. Here's Sula. Schlotterbeck. Gnabry. Chan. This is better. Gundogan. Chan. Kimmich. We've got the outlet of Sane now, and it is very, very congested. Chan. Trying to break the lines through athleticism. It's the likes of Gnabry and Sane who have the skills. Sula, Kimmich. Now Sane up against Mitoma. Rudiger. Schlotterbeck. Gnabry. Gundogan hoping to get it back, but it'll fall to Itakura. Wade, a tussling physical battle with Rudiger is usually a losing one. Well guided there by Havertz to Sane. Need to get him on the ball. Hiroki Ito got the block in. Sane again. He has the capacity to take defenders out of the game, whether it's with his close control or a neat passing triangle at pace. Mitoma. Oh, and Mitoma, but straight into the grateful grasp of Ter Stegen. Abandoning his defensive brief momentarily. Found that he could use his body to get away from defenders against Ukraine. It's more difficult tonight. So it's the end of the night for Kamada and for Ayase Ueda. Takuma Asano. Not necessarily warmly welcome. Plays for Bochum. This is the goal for Ueda. It's one he'll treasure. It's only his second for his country. And Taniguchi. They're going to have a potentially a little bit of a reshuffle here. I'm just wondering where he's going to go. Well, my suggestion would be Mitoma further forward and Hiroki Ito back to the flank. He'll slot into the centre of defence. And that is indeed where he's gone, with Tomiyasu taking up the left centre-back role. This is Gundogan and now Gnabry. Chan. I don't know how he did it, but he did. Schlotterbeck. It's not often your best contribution to a football match comes from a seated position. Germany without Füllkrug and Musiala, two players who would certainly give them more in an attacking sense. Goretzka too, who after a slightly troubled pre-season at Bayern has certainly fully re-established himself in their midfield. And that was a surprise omission, although possibly the troubles with Tuchel in pre-season thought to be a reason behind it. This is Sane. Now Asano. Mitoma. Morita. Endo. Morita. Tomiyasu now to Itakura. And Junya Ito needs help. Itakura will provide it, but won't measure the pass. Gundogan. Involved in Germany's goal in what was a very slick move. I'm going to see a German debutant very shortly. Pascal Gross is ready to enter the international stage, as is Robin Gosens, who were out here on the pitch for a good chunk of the half-time interval, so it's no great surprise that they are the first new faces for Hansi Flick in this second half. Wolfsburg crowd feeling it's all a little ponderous. A thrill of a rush of skill, something to lift them. Rudiger. Gnabry. It's making a purposeful run up ahead. And here's Sane, who has the beatings of Hiroki Ito. Terrific run. Gundogan, Wirtz, Endo couldn't get it away. Schlotterbeck is fouled, is he? No. There is VAR, but João Pinheiro, the on-pitch official, absolutely adamant that there was no case there for Nico Schlotterbeck, who got his foot between Endo and ball and was caught. But not deemed to be any kind of error. Emre Can is going to go off. It won't give us any clue where Pascal Gross is going to play, necessarily. A man of so many parts. And it's also the end for Nico Schlotterbeck. Robbie Gosens coming on, he will clearly replace him at left back. But Pascal Gross stepping onto the international stage at senior level for the very first time. He last represented Germany 12 years ago at under-20 level. A 3-1 win over Italy, an Italy side that contained Lorenzo Insigne. A player of great football intellect and enormous versatility. And in sparkling form over a long period for Brighton and Hove Albion. And who'd have thought it a few years back that in an international match between Germany and Japan, we would have two players from Brighton and Hove Albion on the field. Gross of Germany and Mitoma of Japan. It appears that Gross is going to be asked to play at the base of midfield. So it has, in effect, been a straight swap with Emre Can. Here he is dropping between the two centre-backs, as Can often does. Sulan out of Gosens. Gnabry. Gosens full of freshness. Junior Ito's energy levels are prodigious, although somewhat reduced by the attentions of Robin Gosens, and those attentions deemed worthy of a yellow card. And there is a little chop across, with no great hope of winning the ball. Is it going to be another memorable day for those young Japanese football fans who must just think this is how it is when Japan play Germany? Not so on the German bench. So Danny Röhl next to Hansi Flick there. He's fully aware of the level of scrutiny that he is under. And with Julian Nagelsmann, this highly precocious young coach who's currently not in a job, looming like a very dark shadow, would be an easier decision to make. Gosens, no flag. But it was clearly, in the end, an offside. Robin Gosens, son of a Dutch father, once said, "I would not say no to the Dutch team, but I have to be asked." It wasn't soon enough. Decision makers, Ben Neundorf, who is on the left, Rudy Fuller on the right, appearing with increasing frequency and close-up during Germany's matches. Really suggestive there is a decision to be made. This is Pascal Gross. It's going to be quite the year for Brighton and Hove Albion, with a European challenge and a fascinating Europa League group with Ajax of Athens, better known as AEK in the English-speaking world, and Ajax and Marseille waiting their first ever European campaign. Which begins a week on Thursday. Like this continues by
next Thursday, Hansi Flick may well be seeking other employment. And the truth is, Japan are keeping Germany at arm's length here. 2 attempts on the target. Out of the 9 they've had. Gosens. Gnabry. Even a simple pass, Rudiger is forced to check unnecessarily. He's trying to make his point forcefully. Sané. Every time he gets the ball, there is at least the threat of a spark. Oh, and now Asano will get there first with Junya Ito in support. Asano! And Ter Stegen in the right place at the right time yet again. Mitoma! Well, but for him, you do wonder what the scoreline could read at the moment. Save from the Morita effort that ended up in the side netting, probably the best. Others of a more routine variety, but his positioning has been perfection. But of the 9 efforts on the target, he's managed to repel 7 of them.
Ủa, đâu mà? Liverpool. Tama là hả? Đâu đi? Từ từ. Ồ, để dưới cái cò dòng.
Made his presence felt. He made one crucial challenge in the first half. It's biting a little hard. It's just a case of him showing Sané who was boss. Julian Brandt and Thomas Muller. Beards withdrawn.
아주 야라고요.
Likewise, Kai Havertz. It's the old stager. To great acclaim, who steps onto the stage, hoping to lead the rescue act for Germany. And for Hansi Flick.
Coffee there.
Japan, as we saw, prepared to deploy a couple of pairs of fresh legs as well. And a fair old fistful of shirt from Hiroki Ito on Mora there. That's Sané, Gross, Julian Brandt, Kimmich, and the header. Oh, an opportunity for Gosens. It was Taniguchi's header, which
อืมอืม
พี่เรียกไปตัวไหน
ตอนนี้
Suggesting there is a decision to be made.
Getting balls into the box and asking a defensive question. So, it's the end for Junior Ito, the bundle of energy down the right-hand side, and for Hidemasa Morita.
ရသွားတယ်ညှိလိုက်ရုံပဲ
So, Ao Tanaka
พวกงาน
and
ဟောဒါကဟို15ရက်နေတယ်ကိုကြီး
Usa Kubo, who will come on.
ပြည့်တယ်ပြည့်တယ်အော်ရသွားတယ်
Is going to change tactically. Tanaka will just go into the centre of that midfield, and Kubo will operate in the wide position. Kubo has scored 3 goals already this season for Real Sociedad.
ဟုတ်တယ်
Air of undoubted high quality. Rudiger. Muller to attack it. Met by Tomiyasu. And Pascal Gross. Which is an effort that he hopes will not be the great memory from this game. Well, Asano surging on. Ter Stegen with a really good strong arm. Mitoma then more straightforward for the goalkeeper. And it was a fine save to deny Asano from Ter Stegen. And a save from Morita too, also very important, the one that guided it into the side netting. Well, is he hoping and praying as much as anything? Well, it's only the World Cup runners-up next. Nothing to worry about. Thrilling prospect on Tuesday night in Dortmund. France without Olivier Giroud, incidentally, for that match. Tanaka. Sugawara's made a useful run there, but it's cut off at the pass by Robin Gosens. Morita. Mitoma. Endo. Itakura. Behind Sugawara. Is Kubo. Was that a foul? No. Gross gets it back from Muller. Julian Brandt, Sané making the run. Situation read, not just by Tomiyasu, who stepped in typically controls fashion, but also by Hiroki Ito behind him. But Japan have lost it. Gundogan. Asano goes a tumbling. Rudiger. Asano. Mitoma. Tanaka. Put in by Gross. Hiroki Ito. Touch of tiredness about that. This is Gundogan. A little bit of menace about this until Tomiyasu stepped in. He's been outstanding. Rudiger. Sula. Gross. get a corner out of that. Played for the unfashionable German club Ingolstadt for 5 years. And club Karlsruhe, that's had its famous names in the past, but they dropped down to the 3rd tier during his time there. For emerging largely unbelievable, signed by Chris Hughton. Holding a reputation as one of the most intelligent footballers in the Premier League, and Manchester United certainly setting his feet more often than not. I doubt he thought this opportunity would ever come around. Oh, Sarri has earned the free kick there. Hiroki Ito's feeling it was a dubious decision. Matt is inclined to agree. Big set-piece opportunity here for Germany. Gundogan just lurking on the edge of the area, as is Pascal Gross. Replaced by Kevin Schade. Brentford winning his 3rd cap for Germany, given away into by Sule. Sane. Kimmich. Corner. Schade right in on the goal line. Rudiger. Oh, how clear a header was it? Not the clearest of opportunities. Tell a story of frustration. Again. The truth of the matter is, however you want to dress it up, this is not a team that has deserved anything more out of it at the moment, and they're going to be reminded of their last defeat at the hands of the Japanese, whose expressions tell a story. Of course, Ritsu Doan, we already got Asano on the field, but Ritsu Doan, the other goal scorer in the FIFA International Stadium back in November, is about to come on. That was neat by Brent. Gundogan. Sane had stopped. Schade hasn't. I wonder if Sane had gone offside. It didn't look like it. Anyway, that's Ritsu Doan on the right there, and Daiki Hashioka, who plays in Belgium. Sugawara, who plays in the nearby Netherlands, making his way off. So Ritsu Doan on.
Mitoma.
That was a fantastic tackle by Can Germany pull something out of the bag as we head towards the final 5 minutes in Wolfsburg? Four internationals without a win. And in danger. Well, for once, it wasn't Tomiyasu this time. It was Taniguchi who reacted to crucial effect in front of the goalkeeper. Gosens gets his head to it. And Osako came out the winner. Collateral damage in there. Everybody with eyes on the ball. Tomiyasu. Getting a little ball to the head. Part of the goalkeeper's fist. Take more than that to end his evening. Successive defeat, a fourth defeat in 5 games.
Hold on. Kala injungan. Gulong mo siya. Gulong siya.
Wasted energy. Sula. Kimmich. Sane. Kimmich. Gross. Brandt. Might break for him actually. Tanaka tenacious. Hiroki Ito humping it downfield so that Germany pick up possession again. Schade. The cross that needs defending. Defended by Tomiyasu. It's Rudiger to tease it in there. This time it's Taniguchi. Comes out to Sane, onto his left foot. Plenty of pace. But plenty of height too, which allowed it to run for Osako. Turn of speed there by Takuma Asano, known as the Jaguar. Sula. Gross. Kimmich.
Muller showing for it. And Kubo catching Gosens in possession, and he can finish it off here. Asano with him. He'll use Asano, and that is that. As he did in Qatar, Takuma Asano seals Germany's fate, and he may well have sealed Hansi Flick's in the process. But again, it was all so avoidable. Kubo robbing Gosens. There was no way anybody was going to get back. Incredibly unselfish. And Asano sticks it away. And the demons for Germany live on. But will their head coach be on this week? Well, it happens every time if you're a young Japan fan. Well, they've got a big game on Tuesday against France, which could offer him some form of redemption, but there might be one or two even asking the question whether he makes it that far. Kubo. And in dangerously, and it's another from Tanaka. I can barely believe this. And neither can Marc-Andre ter Stegen, offered no protection. Well, if they thought the emotions and the experience in Qatar was bad, well, this is that and double. Lovely combination by Asano and Kubo. He's able to play in a delightful cross. Tanaka's completely free, and the header just sneaks in by the post. Uproar, disbelief. But Japanese delight beyond their wildest dreams. Kubo. Well, they sent blood here. Yes, this is really happening. With the corner, Julian Brandt, Gross. Now Sane. Needs help, and he didn't have a lot. Muller. Well, he's He's been through it all with Germany, Thomas Müller.
But even in his time,
A few nights like this, Gundogan's header.
but there's not been at any stage a real severe test for Keisuke Osako. That's very routine. And the Japanese supporters in full cry. Well, he is a man, surely, who knows there is no way back.
An astonishing night in Wolfsburg. And the din, the chorus of boos, says it all. Hansi Flick, to all intents and purposes, surely walking away from the international stage. Whether he makes it to Tuesday night in the battle with the World Cup runners-up France or not. An astonishing victory here for Japan, and thoroughly deserved. Hajime Moriyasu's team controlled the game. Ito with the early goal, a quick equaliser from Leroy Sané. Ayasayu Ueda restored the lead 3 minutes later. Germany barely laid a glove on them in the second half, and they stole 2 late goals to make the scoreline a barely believable Germany 1.
Emerson's replacement, though one of the world's best dead ball exponents, Juninho Pernambucano, and striker Adriano, who scored on this ground in the final of the Confederations Cup against Argentina just 12 months ago, also sustained a knock in the win over Ghana. So Gilberto Silva, he steps up from the substitutes bench as well. With our referee from Spain, Luis.